What's up, smart homers? My name's Aaron. Today I want to show you how I set up smart charging for my wall-mounted dashboard.
Press start.
So you may have heard of the 80-20 rule for charging of lithium-ion batteries. The idea is that lithium-ion batteries are under the most strain when they're 100% state of charge or 0% state of charge. Eventually the battery's internal resistance increases and the overall capacity of the battery decreases. In extreme cases, the battery can actually expand, causing damage to the device that it's powering. In a previous video, I showed how I set up my wall-mounted dashboard using an Amazon Fire tablet and Home Assistant. However, the setup I showed involves continuously powering the tablet, effectively keeping the tablet at 100% or near 100% state of charge all the time. This is not ideal, and in this video I'm going to show you how I used a smart outlet and Home Assistant to smart charge my tablet. Based on some research I've done, the ideal condition for a battery is to stay at around 50% state of charge. This would put the least stress on the battery. However, you want to avoid microcycles by constantly recharging small amounts to maintain the battery at 50%. The best would be to average 50% with smooth and slow charge and discharge rates. Having smooth and slow charge and discharge rates limits the amount of heat the battery produces, which also affects the life of the battery. I'll leave a link in the description to an article by Battery University that explains these ideas. For these reasons, I decided to choose a minimum battery percentage of 20% and a maximum battery percentage of 80% and keep the charge in between those. The idea is to begin charging when the battery reaches 20% and stop charging when it reaches 80%. The battery then would discharge down to 20% and begin charging again. To begin this upgrade to my tablet setup, I first began looking for smart outlets. The outlet needed to have a USB port on it, but the USB port needed to be smart so it can be controlled with an automation. I couldn't use a regular power adapter because of the size constraints of my recessed electrical box. The device also needed to be compatible with Home Assistant. Believe it or not, I could not find a single Zigbee or Z-Wave device that fit my requirements. So I settled for Wi-Fi, which is not my first choice. I found two Wi-Fi switches that actually had smart USB outlets as well as smart receptacles. I chose the cheaper one, of course, a MOES smart Wi-Fi outlet. This outlet has two standard receptacles that are individually controlled, and then also a USB port that is individually controlled as well. The USB port provides 5 volts at 2.1 amps, which is fine for my needs. The outlet also uses Tuya software and is compatible with the Smart Life app. Since there's a Tuya integration with Home Assistant, this device should be compatible. However, when you buy a Tuya device, you have to remember that you are kind of rolling the dice with whether or not it will show up in Home Assistant. I have a fan light combination switch that is Tuya powered that does not show up in Home Assistant. Anyway, I bought the switch and I installed it, replacing the outlet that I had put there in the last video. I followed the instructions that came with the outlet and got the outlet set up in the Smart Life app. The switch shows up as 4 entities technically in the Smart Life app. You have the top receptacle, the bottom receptacle, the USB port, and they have one switch that can shut all of them on and off at the same time. Next, in Home Assistant, I navigated to Configuration, Integrations, and then I went to the Tuya integration and I reloaded it. When I reloaded it, those devices appeared in Home Assistant. Sweet, now that wiring wasn't for nothing. So next I created a template sensor for the battery level of my Fire tablet. As I showed in the previous video, when you set up fully kiosk in Home Assistant, you have a single sensor that has all the different data as attributes for that tablet. I created a template sensor using the battery level attribute from that original sensor so that I could plot the battery level and use it to trigger automations. If you don't understand what I'm doing here, pretty much a template sensor can be used to take an attribute from one sensor and make it its own separate sensor. So now that I have the battery level in Home Assistant as its own sensor and I'm able to control the power to the tablet, I can set up my automations. So I'm going to create 2 automations. The first automation is going to be to turn on the power to the tablet when the battery percentage of the tablet reaches 20%. The second automation is going to be to shut the power off to the tablet once the battery level reaches 80%. Like I said before, then the battery will discharge down to 20% and the power is going to come back on and charge it back up to 80, and the cycle is going to repeat. Then I created a mini graph card so I can trend and visually see the battery percentage over a course of a couple days. As you can see with this nice sawtooth pattern, the discharge rate varies depending on how much the tablet is being used or how much the screen is on during that cycle, but the charge rate is very smooth. Ideally, reducing the charge rate could help with battery performance, and I could do this if I could find a smart Wi-Fi switch with a smart USB outlet that also had a current rating of less than the 2.1 amps that this one does. However, that might even be impossible to find, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. I also considered switching from the 2080 charge cycle to the 3070 charge cycle, which would still average 50%, but would keep the battery percentage closer to 50%, although there would be more cycling. However, I decided to stick with 80/20 because I understand that that's pretty commonly used, so I decided not to change it. I may get a second wall-mounted dashboard and set that one up for the 3070 and compare over a longer time span. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope that was kind of interesting. Before you leave any angry comments, please follow the link in the description. Read that article so you understand where I'm coming from. If you like this video, please poke the like button. And if you didn't like the video, also please poke the like button and then leave your angry comment below. I look forward to some great battery life and charge cycle discussions in the comment section below. Also, if you're new, I'll be doing more guides like this, as well as product reviews and automation idea videos. So please subscribe if you want to see more and hit the bell if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. See ya.